It's game day! And who better to join me on the show today than Mr. Big Game Day Energy himself is CJ Hurt of Grind City Media and co-host of the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, also host of The Odds Couple. CJ, what's good with you, my guy?
What's going on? What's going on, man? Everything's good over here. I had Jessica this morning. I'll produce Odds Couple today, 2 p.m. on Grind City Media's YouTube channel and on the GCM app. So if you don't got that app, go ahead and get it and catch me, Rob, Lang, and Roser today breaking down NFL draft and other sports betting lines.
Busy guy. You're going to be busy all day. I mean, we're talking about game day, right, with
Yeah,
the Grizzlies going into game 3, but it's also game day for a lot of NFL franchises and their front offices, right? NFL draft is today. You told me you don't really have a team that you root for specifically. You're a kind of a bona fide hater. So who slides to you? Who are you hating on in the draft tonight?
I like Shedeur Sanders. I like him a ton. Jackson State did not have a culture of winning before Shedeur got there. Colorado did not have a culture of winning before Shedeur got there. And you look up, and Jackson State won 2 SWAC titles under Shedeur Sanders, and Colorado this past season was in the hunt for a Big 12 championship game berth for most of the season. And he's done it with very poor line play, not a great run game, and he's got all of the stats that you would want your quarterback to have. Now, he's not super athletic, I understand that, but he seems like what everybody tells me you want a prototypical quarterback to do. Stand back in the pocket, read a defense, be accurate. The most accurate quarterback, I do believe, this past season, around 74% completion percentage. I have to double check that. And he's got all of the major Colorado passing records in 2 seasons at Colorado. So that's somebody who I don't want to reach on a quarterback, but that's somebody who is surprising me some that folks have him sliding outside of the first round entirely.
That's all the smoke and mirrors, CJ. That's all the smoke and mirrors of NFL franchise.
Okay.
You know, they do a little hit job there at the beginning, so that then he slides, and then you're getting him where you want him in the latter half of that's all that is. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to give that no credence for real, because those NFL franchises trying to get what they want. It's all a game over there in the NFL. You know what is a game? Also, game 3 tonight. Let's get into our big idea of the afternoon. Grizzlies dropped their first 2 games in Oklahoma City by an average of 35 points. Game 2, certainly a better sight than game 1. 118-99 in the final, with the big 3 of Ja, Jaren, and Dez combining for 68 of 99 points. Now the Grizz come back to FedEx Forum for 2 games, hoping to avoid a sweep and extend the series. It may look bleak, but if you ask the Grizz stars, OKC just did their job, and it's time for the Grizz to do the same. Check this out.
Yeah, it's a series. You can't never too high or too low about anything. You got to go home and take care of business. You got to ride the wave of the home crowd and protect home court and have that confidence and that swag. Yeah, no matter what it was here, you would have had to do that. So the mentality is just aggression, straightforward, and get home.
I mean, it is tough, but that's the game, you know. I mean, it's a game of runs. We got to come out and punch first. I mean, that's 2 times in a row that you know they've hit us first, and you know it's tough to climb up an uphill battle on the road time and time again. So we got to hit first at home.
Be aggressive. Hit first at home. All things easier said than done thus far, CJ. What did you think of game 2, and what did you think about what the boys had to say right there?
They did that against Dallas in the last play-in game. They came out hot. They came out firing. They came out swinging. And I would hope that they'd be able to do that tonight against the Thunder in game 3. The place FedEx Forum is going to be rocking. If you hadn't got tickets, if there are any tickets available, you might want to try and grab them, because that place is going to have an energy inside of it that is going to be buzzing, that players can feed off of. I hope that they start fast, and I believe that they will. I don't think that they'll go, what did they do, 0 for 9, 0 for 10 shooting on their first 9 or 10 shots in the game 2. And you look at that, the Thunder were vulnerable early in the first quarter. The Grizzlies just weren't able to take advantage of it. And when you go back and you look at the shot selection from early in that game, I felt like 7 of the 9 shots were good shots, right? Shots that I want Grizzlies players to take. John Morant floaters, Jaren Jackson Jr. with a foot in the paint shot. I think Desmond Bane had a contested layup that I've seen him make several times throughout the course of this season that ended up rimming out. So they were getting quality looks. The ball just wasn't falling for them. And if they get those same type of quality looks in game 2 to start, or excuse me, in game 3 to start, they'll be in good place to start the game.
Yeah, I would totally agree with you. I think the slow starts have really been the Achilles heel to start this series. Most notably, you talk about the last game, it felt like they were getting all the shots in the first quarter that they weren't getting in game number 1. But in game number 2, you're talking about getting to an 0 for 10 start. And it wasn't just the Grizzlies that got off to the slow start. The Thunder started off slow as well. And it kind of felt like, all right, whoever figures out their footing here early on is going to kind of have the early advantage. And it just really wasn't the Grizzlies in this particular game. But I think if they can have a faster start than what they had in the first 2 games, they're going to put themselves in a way better position. I mean, we talked about game 1. You can't play worse than 51 points in game 1. They
I certainly hope you can.
Came considerably closer in game 2 and had a better performance kind of overall. Specifically, I think with Jaren Jackson Jr. kind of getting involved there, you go from 4 points in game 1 to I think 26 in game 2. Certainly a better effort from him and something that you hope you can continue to get. I think the other note on this in this series is you really got to turn down the turnovers. You got 29 combined turnovers. Man. Yeah, 29 combined turnovers in 2 games against the number 1 defense in the league. Ain't going to get it done.
29 combined turnovers, and I think 49 combined points off of turnovers. Points
that sounds right.
Off of turnovers. I think 25 last game, 24 the game before that. And it's not just the turnovers, but you got to get back on defense, especially on live ball turnovers. But the Grizzlies don't seem to be getting back on defense after made buckets either, or after missed shots, where you're looking up and the Thunder are just running up and down the court on these guys. I think 27 fast break points in game 1, 21 in game 2. So if you can get Jaren Jackson Jr.'s third quarter for majority of the game, if you can get fewer turnovers, and if you can get back on defense, I think we're looking up, and this is a game in the single digits late, and I don't know who will be up, but I know that the Grizzlies have a dude in John Morant who you can call, so they tell me. You just pick up the phone and dial 1-2-1-2. That's called John Morant at 1-2. You call him up, and you let the chips fall where they may. We've seen John Morant have several of those call 12 moments in the regular season. We also saw him in that Timberwolves series a while back have a call 12 moment as well. So if it's close late in that game, and you've got John Morant, who's one of the best, if not the best closer in the NBA right now, you put yourself in a pretty good spot to win. But you're not going to be in that position if you aren't taking care of the ball and getting back on defense.
Yeah, I mean, they played that game 2 second half. They were about even. They played basically to a tie. And to your point, they won the third quarter, I think 27-20. You get 13 points from Jaren in that third quarter. But also, and I agree with you on this point, like you have to, what Tuomas Isolo has said the Grizzlies want to do is play fast against this Thunder team. And what you want to do when you play fast, you also don't want to turn the ball over. But 21 points in fast break points for the Thunder in game 2. The Grizzlies had 3. And that's just not gonna get it done against really any team, but especially a team like the Thunder. You got to be better with the ball. They're thriving on deflections and tip balls and turnovers and live ball turnovers more than anything else. But more than anything, I think what we saw from game 1 to game 2 is more effort and feeling like they are showing up to the building to play a basketball game. At the same time, you still aren't getting enough. We talk about the plays that define a game are kind of the 50-50 balls, right, in the playoffs. You got an Alex Caruso tipping the ball, diving on the floor, creates a break opportunity. You get an Isaiah Joe who rebounds the ball on an offensive rebound on the other side of the floor and then is able to just kind of walk into a 3. Those are kind of the kind of plays that can't happen in a game 3 at home, and you're hoping that the Grizzlies are able to thrive on just the energy that the FedEx Forum is going to bring. You know, you're talking about the growl towels. What I think I like about Memphis is we do everything kind of on our own definition, right? Our own way of going about things. We do the growl towels where everybody else is doing T-shirts, and I really like that about Memphis. What do you think about what the home crowd can potentially bring? Are they going to give Memphis enough juice for it to make a difference in a game 3 at home?
Game 1, if you look at the lines, game 1, I think Memphis was a 12-point, maybe 12.5-point dog at tip. Game 2, they were 14.5 dog at tip. Right, last time I checked, they were like 9.5 points.
Yeah, 9's right.
That means that Vegas thinks that this home crowd is worth 5 points. Right? Like, think about that for a minute. That's how important it is to have home court in the playoffs, to be the home team in a playoff series. Vegas thinks Memphis fans matter. I think Memphis fans matter. Other opponents, ask the Clippers from Blake Griffin and them. Ask Lob City Clippers about that. Ask the San Antonio Spurs and Greg Popovich, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, and those dudes if the home crowd matters in Memphis. Ask Anthony Edwards and some of those Minnesota Timberwolves who were out there the last time the Grizzlies won a playoff series, if home court mattered in that series. It absolutely matters, and I think it'll matter again tonight. I expect it to be loud, intense. I expect it to be a crazy, crazy moment, man. It's going to be an atmosphere you want to be a part of.
Well, you're certainly hoping that you're getting the crowd support that you want, because I think it's easy as a fan to look at the first 2 games and be like, I don't know if I want to spend money on that, right?
Yeah, wait. I'm gonna hop in here. Let me hop in here real quick.
Go ahead, hop in.
The biggest complaint I hear from Grizz Nation, from Grizzlies fans, about opposing fan bases is, oh, they're fair weather. Oh, they're front runner. Oh, it's easy to cheer. Golden State Warriors, a bunch of fair weather fans, front runner fans. They weren't here before Steph and Clay got there. Lakers fans, oh, y'all just like LeBron, you bunch of front runners. That's the thing I hear from Grizz Nation. What better time to show up and practice what you preach, right? Are you a front-running fan? Is this a front-runner fan base? Are you going to be there through thick and thin when the lows are low and when the highs are high? Because that's what y'all make it seem like when y'all talk to me. Y'all tell me all the time, nobody else's fans matter because we're the only real fan base in the NBA. I expect them to come out there and show the hell up. Hell, y'all been doing all that damn talking.
Points are made. Points are made and shots were fired. So we'll see. Hopefully, when you're talking about a home fan base, that helps your bench players, right? And you only got 14 points from your bench in game number 2. You're hoping that they feel more comfortable in a FedEx Forum environment when they got the home fans on their side. A guy the Grizzlies certainly miss in this series is Jalen Wells, the rookie named a finalist for NBA Rookie of the Year this week, along with Zachary Ricochet of the Hawks and Stephon Castle of the San Antonio Spurs. Wells started 74 of the 79 games he played this year, put up 10 points, 3 boards, and shot 35% from the 3. CJ, what do you think of the year that Jalen had? Does he have a real shot at winning the award this year, or is this somebody else's to win?
Listen, what a season, a rookie season for a dude selected, 39 overall, damn near 40th overall in the NBA draft, a second round pick to have to come in and not on a like the Grizzlies were competing for a playoff spot for most of the season, not trying to fight for a play-in berth. They ended up backing into the play-in because of circumstances. But this was a playoff team for most of the year, and you're going to have to go out there as a rookie and contribute as a starter for this team. And before the last month and a half, 2 months or so, when he hit that rookie wall that everybody talks about, you could argue that Jalen Wells was the best three-point shooter on the team. I don't think that is necessarily his to win, but he should absolutely be a finalist for the award. And if team success matters, you take a long, hard look at Jalen Wells, whose team had way more success than the Hawks and the Spurs this season, and somebody who is tasked with not only being one of, if not the best three-point shooter for much of the season for the Grizzlies, but also tasked with guarding the other team's best perimeter player. is what Jalen Wells was tasked with for most of this season, be it Tyrese Maxey, De'Aaron Fox, LeBron James, Luka Doncic, right? Like, he's the one out there having to guard the other team's best perimeter player, and he fought admirably to do so. There's a lot of stuff that won't show up in the stats about Jalen Wells, but I think that he's a well-deserved finalist for this award. I just don't think that he'll end up winning it.
Yeah, I think when you look at the award, and really it's an entirety of the season, entirety of the regular season award, right? But I think we talked to him about it kind of in that February to March-ish time frame, and we're like, hey, you feel like you're hitting a rookie wall? And he's like, I'm not hitting no rookie wall, I'm fine. But there is a clear, I won't say drop off, but a clear difference in his play, especially I think offensively when we kind of got into the latter stages of the season. But I think the argument does have to be made that he is not only contributing to a playoff team as a starter, where he started 74 of 79 games, right? But you look at the other two guys that he's a finalist with, you're talking about the number 1 overall pick in last year's draft in Reese with the Hawks, who are, but to your point, are not in the playoffs. And you're also talking about Stephon Castle, who was, I think, he's a lottery pick at the very least. I think it was top 5 pick with the San Antonio Spurs, who's also not in the playoffs. You're talking about a guy who helped lead his team, well, maybe not lead, but helped get his team into a very real playoff position. Yeah. Team success, I think, should matter a little bit with this award. And I think because his impact was so two-way, in that he's putting up 10 a game, he's a reliable three-point shooter, and not just a good three-point shooter from the sense of rookies, but just a good three-point shooter, period, throughout the entirety of the league. And he's having to go in and guard some of the best players in the NBA, and held several of them to their lowest outputs of the season. I think has to really give him a real leg up when it comes to the Rookie of the Year voting. But I think it does become a what have you done for me lately kind of award. And I will say it felt like Castle really had a great season from start to finish, and Reese finished the season really strong, especially after the All-Star break.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And just 3 games, man, that wrist injury doesn't happen. Jalen Wells would have started 77 of 82 games. That's the other thing about him. He was so very durable for the entirety of the season up until the Hornets game, where that freak injury sort of happened, and it took him out for the rest of this season and the playoffs. And I'm assuming he'll be back in time for the start of next season. But outside of that, man, Jalen Wells has had a tremendous rookie season.
Yeah, certainly so. We wishing him a quick recovery. Hope he's ready to go by October or so, training camp of next season. And they certainly miss him in this series. Let's move on. Grizzlies not the only team down 2-0 tonight. The Cavaliers, Celtics, and Pacers all lead their series 2-0 heading to the road. The West a little more competitive. Rockets, Warriors, Nuggets, Clippers, Lakers, Wolves, and Knicks, Pistons all tied up at 1 apiece. CJ, which of these series has kind of been the most interesting to you thus far?
Most interesting. All right, so the one I'm having the most fun watching is Knicks Pistons. That's basketball the way I grew up watching basketball.
Yeah.
That's
rough, tumble,
running around, hitting. Oh, it's wonderful. Running around, grabbing, tugging, pulling, bumping, hitting, slapping. Oh, that's just beautiful basketball for me, man. Get that freedom of movement nonsense out of here.
Yeah, you're a scrappy guy.
You're a scrappy guy. The only thing that could make Pistons Knicks better is if we brought back hand checking. I think in that series alone, we got to bring back hand checking. I think every series, not every series, but every round of the NBA playoffs should designate one series where hand checking is good to go. And I think that's the series that do it, man. I'm loving it so very, very much. The Knicks are frustrated. That fan base is frustrated. Mm-hmm. You went out there, you traded for Karl Anthony Towns. You went out there and gave up, 5 first-round picks for Bridges. You are paying for, so you're paying all this money to these dudes, and you expect to at least get to the second round. Whereas the Pistons, especially against a team like the Pistons, that their production is real young. Cade Cunningham, Jay Navi's not out there, but throw him into the young mix as well as Duren. All real young players. Duren and Cunningham are out there playing now in their first playoff series. Throw the Thompson twin in there as well. That's where their production is coming from. When you think about the face of the Pistons, you think about those three players, and you are getting bullied. And that's not something we're used to seeing for that franchise, right? We're not used to seeing the Knicks get bullied. We're not used to seeing that coach get bullied either. That Tom Thibodeau is the tough coach. Tom Thibodeau is the bully. To see them being pushed around by a team like the Pistons, shout out to the Pistons, man. It's something that we don't see, and that's something that's going to eat at that New York basketball fan base for the rest of their lifetime if the Knicks get bounced out of this. And the Pistons should be up 2-0. Think about how crazy that is. The Pistons are the road
it felt
team,
like the Knicks,
and they should be up
kind of outplayed them.
Series.
Yeah, I feel like the Knicks outplayed the Pistons for probably 7 of the 8 quarters thus far, and the Pistons, of course, come back in that. Yeah, I mean, they come back in game 2 and win that game. I will say, I think game 1, the Pistons probably controlled more of that game than game 2. Game 2, the Knicks kind of let that one just kind of slip away, and you're watching as a Knicks fan, and you know your stomach's turning. Shout out to my guy Matt Infield over at Channel 5. I mean, he's over just in tears over there watching the Knicks in frustration. But I think this Knicks-Pistons series, and particularly the Pistons in particular, I think J.B. Bickerstaff should be Coach of the Year, and he's a Coach of the Year finalist, but I think he should be Coach of the Year because the turnaround from 14 wins the year before to I think 45 in year number 2 to get you the 6th seed in the playoffs. If that's not worthy of Coach of the Year, I don't really know what is. As far as I think what my most interesting series is, it's got to be Nuggets and Clippers, man. It's got to be Nuggets and Clippers to me, mostly because that series has come down to the last possession in both of those games. You have an overtime game in game number 1. And Kawhi Leonard turns back the clock, right? Game number 2 goes for 39 points. I think that has been so compelling and so fun to watch. It almost feels like a resurgence of Kawhi, right? And he's been good this season, and we feel like we haven't been talking about him, and it's mostly because up until now, the last couple of years, Kawhi ain't been on the floor this time of the year. And because he's played so well, and particularly in these series, you got a series that's tied 1-1 going back to L.A.
Yeah, absolutely. It is all about the injury history for Kawhi Leonard. If Kawhi Leonard is out there playing the past, 2, 3, 4 years, however long it's been since we've seen him, we're talking about him more than what we are right now. It's always, when's the last time we've been able to talk about him without the caveat of health? It is always.
It feels like the 2019 championship.
Yeah, that's the last time I can remember. Maybe 2020, that bubble season. But outside of that, it's been a while. And this is what the if is. If Kawhi Leonard is healthy, and it looks like Kawhi Leonard is healthy, he is a dude you want to have on the team. And he is a dude who puts fear in your heart if you're the opponent, because he is so versatile on the offensive end. Can he take threes and make them? Absolutely. Can he get to the rim and finish through contact? You betcha. What about that pull-up game? I thought we were done with pull-ups. Not Kawhi. Kawhi said, bring me the pull-ups. Kawhi is a true 3-level scorer. Oh, and by the way, just the best damn defender. Just the best defender on the court. He can legitimately guard 1 through 5 if needed. And he can do a great job at doing so, as well as rebounding and doing some of the other little things. That Clippers Nuggets series is a real fun one, because we all think, I know I do, Jokic is the best player in that series. Jokic is the best player in the NBA and on the planet. But like, Kawhi's healthy now, so it's kind of making me question.
So now there's a conversation about it, right?
Yeah. Like,
I mean, I think seeing Kawhi play the way he's played, I mean, I'm on Instagram the other day, right? And I think it was an NBA on ESPN graphic or question or post, but they're like, who would you rather have, Kawhi or KD? And I think you kind of have to you're kind of thinking about it, because if Kawhi is healthy, I think he's up there on that tier. But I mean, KD has been what he's been for so long. The ability to score is unquestioned. But I think when Kawhi is on the floor and really impacting games, he's one of the best players we've ever seen. So we'll see if he can lead the Clippers to maybe a 3-1 lead in that series as they go back to LA. CJ.